Okay, I'm working on this Multistar pack. It's a 16 amp hour Multistar. One cell is slightly underperforming at cell number 5, so I'm going to take this pack apart, take cell number 5 out, reassemble the pack as a 5S pack. So let's go ahead and get that started. I already kind of pre-scored the pack right here so I can start ripping some of the heat shrink off. I've already done this to another pack, but that one had an end cell. It was cell number 6, so that one was quite easy. This one will be a little bit more challenging. Alright, so I got that off. I need to take this. There's some tape and outer protective layers of plastic, so I'm going to start getting rid of that. And after I get done with this, I'll wrap it in tape and then put some of that casting material on this to give it like a hard case. Okay, trying to see the best way to attack this, see if I can find a seam or something. Alright, it seems to be right here. Gotta be real careful with this because this seems to be adhered to the full pouch. Alright, the cell that I want, this cell is fine. The one next to it, that's the one I'm having problems with. So it's the one with the purple wire. I know what the voltage is on it, so I mean I'm pretty sure I know which cell it is. So I'm gonna just get to accessing that cell. But like I said, I gotta get through all of this tape first. I shouldn't have to disassemble this far side of the pack. I'm just again dealing with this side, but it's still like tape bundling it together. Alright, so one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take this positive off right here. So I'm going to take some solder and wick some solder onto it. This is using that non-leaded solder, so it has a higher melting temperature, so you really can't get it off unless you have a really powerful iron. So I'm just going to mix some 60-40 with it and it should just pop off. See if I can do it. I'm just putting a little blob on here and it changes the chemistry just enough to where it lowers the melting point to where this will just pop off. I have a bigger 100-watt iron here that I'm going to just put it on there and it should just pop off. There we go. So the positive lead came off and the positive balance tap came off. So So that is done. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on to desoldering this last cell from the group here. And I'm doing the same thing. I'm gonna put some solder on it, get that melting temperature down a little bit to where it's easier for me to desolder it. And then I'm gonna come back with a larger iron and see if we can get these separated. I see some more tape, so let me go ahead and get that off, because this pack should just kind of fall off to the side once I desolder it. Plus I want to grab onto the cell and just kind of give it some pressure to just go ahead and fall on off. There's another round of tape down here. Just nick it and cut it. Alright. So I'm just seeing if I could, appears I gotta remove this bottom piece here, because that's kind of holding the cells together at the bottom. It's like double-sided neoprene foam or something. So see how the cell comes loose like that. So this one I should be able to pull apart and set it to the side quite easily. And one thing I'm wanting to look at is, you see how these cells have, like, this is the capacity of the cell. This one is a 8320 and an 8360, so this should give about 16.6 to 16.7 amp hours. So they give a little bit of extra capacity right out the gate. So that's nice to know. But what I'm wanting to look at is what are the numbers on this cell group that is low. If they're assembling these packs together with cell groups that are knowing to be low and not giving capacity, then it's like, I feel slighted. So so let's see. Alright, so I got that loose. So this cell group is fine. So I'm going to set this to the side. And then I'm going to go on to getting this next group off. So just peel everything back here. Same thing like the other cell. I'm gonna wick some solder on there, get it to flow easier. Again, I'm trying to be mindful of these posts this time. Don't know if you guys remember me posting that video of me accidentally shorting a cell group out. And like I said, this solder is like really crappy. I mean, this is a 40-watt iron that I'm using, but it's not doing crap to these tabs. I mean, I'm just literally just blobbing it on there. Then I come back with my bigger iron. And the second group is already loose as well, so once I unsolder that one, it should just come right out. So I'm just gently prying it apart. Then I'm going to heat this solder blob up right here. And that's a lot of solder. There we go. Alright, so that second group is loose. No, actually this cell group is showing 8320 and 8360, so it was the same capacity as the other group, so it seemed like it was paired up quite well. All of them say 8320, 8360. Alright, so I'm gonna desolder this balance tap right here. Alright, so that's desoldered. I'm gonna desolder this other one. That's desoldered. So the bad cell has been removed. So not that this cell is bad, it just some reason it was slightly underperforming, and I have another one here from the other pack. So what I'm gonna do with these cells is I'm going to create probably like a USB power bank. It'll be like a 32 amp hour USB power bank. It'll still be questionable, but it'll be a decent project to work on. So I'm gonna set that to the side, and so we're gonna get back to getting this cell. I'm gonna just use my voltmeter just to verify the polarity of the cells here. So this, so that's turned around, so this is positive, that's negative. So I want to take the other cell here and so that's positive, this is negative. So I want to take the negative of the other cell and put it to the positive of this one. So yeah, meter went to sleep. Can't get a good connection. So flip this around. Alright, so I got it in the right orientation here. So that's positive. This is negative. That's positive. So let me slide this in like so. Get it squared up. I think I'm gonna just probably go ahead and put a wrap of tape around here. Just to keep everything together while I'm soldering. It ain't gotta be pretty, I'm just pretty it up later. I think I could have did a better job with that. They're not sitting evenly. And this is just painter's tape, so it peels up easily. It doesn't tug on the cell or anything. So just set it down, let the cells even up. So what do we have here? So the cells are in the right orientation. And so what the hardest part is going to be to kind of undo these tabs and fold them over to make contact with that so I can resolder it back up. So I'm going to just get a better vantage point here. I have a feeling what I'm going to have makes me wonder, are these tabs spot welded together or they just soldered? So this side is fine. I want to separate these and fold it over. So I'm trying to see if I actually got something that I can kind of wedge under there. I'm going to heat the solder up and pry those tabs up and apart and then fold them over. So I just got like I think it's like an eyeglass screwdriver or something. So I'm actually feeling a little bit leery. Let me get some safety glasses on, because I don't want that hot solder to splash up in my eye. Because I'm going to gently pry up as I heat up the solder to separate those tabs. Alright, so they separate fine, they're not spot welded. So, alright, so I got them separated. Let that cool off for a second. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this tab over this way. Still just a hair bit warm. Actually, I'm going to get rid of the excess solder. So there was like a solder bridge or something that was just, it didn't allow the tab to lay flat on the other tab. So I just heated it up and let it drop off. Alright, so push that tab over. Now the one side is already fluxed. I mean, it's already tinned, so all I gotta do is apply heat to it, apply some pressure, and it should bond. And then I'm gonna just take this other one and fold it over on top of that to create that series connection. So let me see if I can do this. And again, I'm just taking that drill or screwdriver and applying some pressure onto it. And then I'm going to heat that solder up and let it reflow and bond those series groups together. Alright, so that's reflowed. So what I've done here is the cell is in series, but only one of the cells are in series. So I got to take this tab right here, fold it over, and solder to that other cell so they're both in parallel again. Just see a little loose solder spike. loose, so I'm going to take this tab and fold it over. So this one I'm doing the same exact way. I'm going to just fold it over, hold pressure on it with this this little jeweler screwdriver here. Heat it up, let it reflow, and then it will just settle into place. So this one doesn't want to act right. So what I'm going to do is flip it back up, and I'm kind of re-tin it a little bit. Apply some more solder. Because that's basically what was going on. There really wasn't enough solder to reflow right there. So just going to apply some more solder right here. Get my bigger iron out. Alright, then I'm going to flow some more solder on the back tab of this connection here. Let that cool down a little bit. Alright, same thing. Try to fold this over. Yeah, I'm having a slight issue getting that to bond appropriately. Alright, let's see. Trying to figure out what do I have to bridge, because like I said, these tabs don't take solder easily. They use like an acid flux or something to where you can't tin them easily. Yeah, solder's not really sticking to it as well as I would like. I have flux, but flux isn't going to do anything in this case, so. And I really don't want to create a sorry bridge here. I'll peel this up one more time. Oh my God. Alright, so I have an idea. What I'm going to do is I have a piece of copper that I can use to bridge that contact. Let me go ahead and get that. Okay, so what I've done is I grabbed a piece of copper here. This was from like a copper crimp sleeve. I cut it down to size. I'm applying a little bit of flux to it and tin both sides. And that'll give me that extra bit of material that I need to bridge that gap so I can solder these cells together. Okay, there we go. Alright, tin the other side here. Okay, so I'll take this piece of copper here and I'm gonna lay it up here. And it should roughly be about the width of the cell, but it's just giving me those extra millimeters that I need to get this other tap soldered. So I'm coming here, apply the heat. Alright, so I believe I got it there. Alright, so that series connection is made. Got the tab folded over, got that copper piece in there to bridge that gap. I'm just smoothing the solder connection out. Yeah, I wish I had some. This 40, like I said, that 40 watt ain't hitting it like I want. Give it a hair bit of flux here. I'm satisfied with that. So, alright, so we got to look at these balance taps here again and getting them back in the place where they need to be. So this blue here will tack on to right here. Alright, so I got that tacked on into place. This purple will go to the back part right here. Let's see if I can straighten this tab out a little bit. Alright, so I got that tacked into place. So what I'm going to double check now is if I plug this into my RC charger, is it going to read the balance groups correctly? I have a feeling I might have to shift all the balance plugs over one, but I'm going to just check on my RC charger real quick. Seems to be reading correctly as a 5S pack. So what I will have to do is remove this red wire here, but let me solder this main lead back on as well, and then do a complete test, well, not a complete test, but just to make sure the charger recognizes it as a 5S pack. So let me I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit more solder on this cell right here. That looks good. Boy, that's hot. Alright, I got that soldered on there. I'm gonna just dress it up a little bit. Just using this little cotton to hold on to the wire because it's getting extremely hot. Just need a little insulation. It's not acting the way I want. Fuck. Alright. That looks good. Retack this balance lead back on. Alright. Now I'm gonna just double check everything. I'm also see if I have some Kapton tape. I should have some. Yeah, I don't have any Kapton tape, so you know what I'm about to do. I'm about to use some Gorilla Tape here. Oh, and to remove the lead from the balance tap, you just pretty much lay it on a flat surface. Grab something sharp and pointy. There's a little clip on the balance lead. You'll press down and it should pop out. So I remove that wire. This is now 5S pack. Route the wires through like so. Double check my solder connections. Get rid of any solder balls or anything that I might see. So I'm going to take this Gorilla Tape here and tape across those connections there. So all of those are covered. I'm going to retape these front wires here. So it felt like something was under the tape. Alright, I feel good in this repair. So what I'm probably going to do now is cycle this pack on my RC charger to make sure there's no damages or lost capacity from soldering. If everything checks out, it gives me over 16 amp hours of capacity and there's no dud cells. I will put a few more wraps of Gorilla Tape. I'll probably go ahead and do it now. I'm pretty confident that the pack is okay. And so after I wrap it in this tape and test the pack, I'll wrap it in that casting tape. And this right here, this is a 5S pack that I salvaged, or I took a bad cell out of it and remade it into another 5S pack. So like I said, I'm definitely going to see how long I can see how the casting tape helps with the longevity of the packs. And most of the time when I had a pack with a dead cell in it, I just normally just, you know, sold it off very cheap, knowing I'll just inform the buyer that, hey, it has a weak or a low performing cell in it. Somebody would be more than glad to buy it for like 20 bucks or something like that. And just get it out of my hair. I never really attempted to just take the bad cell out of it and repair it and use it as a lower S pack. But these smaller S packs are really helping me out. Like I said, I've been using triangle bags, and sometimes just dropping down one cell will help you fully utilize the whole triangle bag. So this has been helping me out a lot, and it might help me out some more. You know, I don't know what I'm gonna do with these. I think I might put them on my BBSO2 bike. Just really depends. And yeah, I'm wrapping it in tape. This isn't the final form of it. I'm just wrapping it in tape just to kind of protect it and kind of give it a cosmetic facelift for the short run. And then, like I said, I'll wrap it in the casting tape once I do a cycle test on this pack, make sure everything's good. But I'm just kind of going through these steps to, you know, for the folks that don't have casting tape and they want to repair a pack or something, I'm just kind of going through all the steps just to show you how it's done and what it will look like when you're done. So this last one is just going to have to overlap here. Like I said, this tape is really providing like really no real compression or anything like that, you know. Ideally, I would probably go out and find the appropriate size heat shrink and heat shrink it appropriately. In a perfect world, if I could, I won't say if I could find it, but I just don't have any on hand and I don't feel like waiting, so. And I got several rolls of casting tape here, so, and that's my new thing now, is casting tape. So alright, I'm gonna do one more or two more possibly around the length of the pack. Last wrap here. Alright, so the pack is wrapped. It has no corner protection. It just physically looks nice. It's a 5S pack. I remove. It was a 6S pack. The fifth cell was low. I removed it. When I went to put the pack back together, that last cell wouldn't fold over and make that series connection. I got a little small copper plate, soldered into place to give me those extra few millimeters. Finally soldered that cell, put the positive lead on the positive end of the pack, removed the last positive connection on the balance tap. I plugged it into my RC charger. It shows up as a 5S pack. So this pack should be ready to go. I'm gonna cycle this now, but that's how you would remove a cell in the middle of the pack, you know. So the end cell is easy, but sometimes those cells that are in the middle can be tricky, and you kind of have to pull some tricks out the hat to get it to work. But I'm gonna cycle this. I don't see anything wrong with this. It's probably gonna test out fine, give me full capacity, and I'll probably end up wrapping it with the Gorilla Tape and calling it good. Again, here's the other pack. Again, you see how I removed the positive lead, and like I said, when I soldered it onto the cells, I was end up left over with one last one. So both of these would be technically like identical packs when I'm done with it. And you see they both kind of have that gangsterling. Ideally what I should have done was get another 10 gauge wire and extended the lead to where they're both coming out even and it's not coming out to the side. But just being lazy. But there you go. Thanks for watching.